Right, well, we do know this much. The president is going to focus on the good the refugees can be when they come to this country, including showcasing a Syrian doctor whose wife and daughter and other family members were killed in a Bashar al-Assad raid. He later fled the country, ultimately settled in Detroit, where he's now told, and the president will stress tomorrow night, a hardworking American trying to fulfill and be a part of the American dream. Ohio Republican Congressman Jim Jordan joins us on that. Commends the doctor, I imagine, but very concerned about the many exceptions to that refugee rule. What do you think of the fact the way the president will use this doctor to make his point, allow these 10,000 in?
Well, I mean, look, this may be one of those cases where, you know, it makes sense to do that. But what we've advocated is let's slow this thing down, let's take a pause, and let's actually put in place a program that's going to prevent bad people from coming here and doing the kind of things that were just talked about that are being done in Europe. I think it also kind of underscores the sort of in-your-face approach the president seems to take and the divisive nature of this president by making this sort of a front and center at the State of the Union address. What I would prefer to do is encourage the Senate to take up the bill we passed that 47 Democrats actually supported last month. That would put a pause on this program, that would increase the safety of American citizens and the American people. Encourage the Senate to take it up and say that he would sign it instead of saying that he would veto such a bill.
You know, and obviously in the case of this doctor, memory serves me right, Congressman, you know this stuff far better than I. There was clearly a paper trail to prove he was who he said he was. He was a doctor in good standing. He was considered, I guess, an enemy of the state. So there was enough to prove who he was.
Right.
With this latest batch, we don't have that benefit.
That's it completely. Of course, if someone is going through what this family went through, that makes sense. The American people understand that. What we don't understand is this president who wants to just allow the same program to continue where it looks like people can get here who frankly don't belong here and who are seeking to do Americans harm. And that's the key focus. And I always come back to this, Neil. This president, remember what we've seen from this president. We've seen the IRS target people's First Amendment liberties. We've seen Obamacare target their religious liberties. And we now see the president going after people's Second Amendment rights. Instead, let's focus on securing the border and protecting this country from terrorists. That's what the American people are asking us to do. Our bill would do that. This president says he'd veto it. That's a big problem.
You know, I always feel that these type of moments are political theater. I know that's hardly a Fox News alert. But when the president does mention and point to this doctor, are you going to stand up and clap?
Well, I mean, I'll see what the occasion is tomorrow and at that moment. But like you say, if this guy was truly persecuted, we understand that. What we don't understand is the president's focused on attacking Americans, citizens, law-abiding Americans, their fundamental constitutional rights, First Amendment liberties, Second Amendment rights, and not focusing on stopping terrorism and securing the borders. That's what Americans want us to do, and that's what we should be focused on. If the president would have a change of heart and say something like that tomorrow night, then I'll stand up and clap.
All right. I'll kind of be holding half my breath.
Okay.
Congressman, thank you very much. Good seeing you again. Happy New Year.